Alright, today is day 2 of learning the ins and outs of business models. And today we're going to talk about revenue versus profit. Now, if you're as uneducated as I was when I learned this today, then let me make it simple. Revenue is all the money you make, alright? And profit is the money you keep after you find out what the costs are of making that money. For example, if you had a taco shop and let's say you sold 3 tacos and each taco cost, we'll say $3. So you sell 3 tacos, then that would be 3 times 3, which is 9. So your revenue would be $9, but your profit would be how much you made, which is $9, minus what it cost you to make it. Now let's say that the ingredients you used to make them cost $3. And then the employees you had to hire to make the tacos for you cost $2. That means that your total profit would only be $4 because you spent $5 on expenses. The next thing I want to talk about is gross profit margin, which is a fancy way of saying the money you have left over after you subtract the cost of goods that you're selling. And the way it's usually calculated is like revenue minus the cost of goods over revenue, which means that it's going to be percentage. Okay, so now let's say that your gross profit margin was 10%. That would mean that for every dollar of revenue, so for every dollar that you made, you only actually keep 10 cents of that. You can also view that 10% as like for every dollar that the company makes, they're spending 90 cents of it. Now, if you ever hear the phrase net profit margin actually takes into account like literally everything you spend money on, because gross profit margin only takes into account like the direct cost of the thing you're selling. So like if you're making tacos, then it only like calculate the direct cost that it makes to make a taco. But with like a net profit margin, it would calculate like the cost of like the place you're selling it at, the cost of paying the employees, and the cost of literally anything you're using. Anyways, that's day 2 ever. Let me know if like you actually understood anything that I just explained to you today. Peace.